Check out this Zoom lesson where I helped Eddie consistently compress his irons by making one simple change to his posture.
Let me give my
Yep.
Let me give my cousin the phone, and I'm gonna set up over here on the range.
Okay, perfect. Looks like a beautiful day.
It's 110 degrees, Eric.
As I said, it looks like a beautiful day.
It looks beautiful, but it's like an oven out here. And if you look at it, there's nobody on the range, which is nice.
You're gonna lose 10 pounds of water weight in the first 5 minutes. I had my lesson earlier. Is a guy actually from Wisconsin. It was a balmy 95 and some crazy humidity.
Oh, really? In Wisconsin?
Yeah.
You want me to hit like a 7-iron or a pitching wedge?
Yeah, start off with pitching wedge, and if we could start off down the line, so behind you, right behind the foot line, and then we're going to move on to face on.
0, okay.
If you can make one step to the left. Perfect. Okay, one more.
Eric, I have a question about grip pressure too.
We will answer it.
Okay.
Yep. And one more. So now a couple from face on. And we're going to migrate. Yeah.
This way?
Yeah, something like
perfect.
Perfect.
I know.
Your videographer is getting an A.
Yeah, the videographer always gets it.
I need a glass of champagne.
Is that what he's using to bribe you?
No, hopefully something.
There you go.
He'll get me a drink after this.
Seems like a nice enough guy, right?
Yeah.
So I've seen everything I have to. If you want to hit one more, actually with the driver from face on, just to checkpoint one thing there, but I've seen.
Okay.
We're going to see one from face on and one from that line with driver. Again, I just want to point out that you're, on the way through, you're feeling a lot of weight on your right foot still, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see one from behind you, and then we're going to go into the classroom.
Okay.
And use some shade because I don't want you to burn up out there. Sorry, down the line, so we're right behind him. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure most people would say that's his better side, but that's okay. If you can make one step to the left. Okay. Typical?
Yeah, that's typically what happens. But like I said, it's the worst club in my bag. I try not to pull this club out.
So go and grab a seat, jump in the shade,
Okay.
and we are going to chat. Let's pull these up.
All right. And Eric, honestly, that's one of the reasons I was attracted to your program. There's two reasons. One, I'm getting older, and I want to, have a golf swing that's not going to tax my body because I want to be able to play golf for a long time. And two, I saw your, 130 mile an hour swing challenge. So I'm like, well, if you can help some guys hit that fast, if I can get above 100, I'll be happy.
Well, I'm pretty confident we'll be able to do that today, actually, based on what you're showing me, because you
Okay.
are in good shape. It's not an issue of that. So let me go ahead and share my screen with you. That way we can do a little bit of annotations.
Okay.
So we're going to start off with red, and go through a couple of things. So first of all, when it comes to setup,
Yeah.
okay, first thing is we are certainly a touch wide.
Too wide.
Big time.
Oh.
And
Okay.
so you get even wider with driver. And so
Yeah.
it's going to compromise your ability to get to your left side at all,
Okay.
if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I watched your video on that, and you said if your stance got too wide, you couldn't get back to your left side, which is my problem. I'm always hanging back on my right.
100%. And that's where, just taking a look at things real quick. Here is outside of the pelvis, straight pelvis. Right. We're talking about 3 inches on one side, and then probably about 2 inches on the other. So you're about 5 inches wider than where you need to be.
Wow. And I thought I was too narrow. Okay.
There you go. But that's why we're doing this, because we're putting this
Okay.
stuff to the forefront of our imagination.
Okay.
And so you get actually even wider with your driver,
Yeah.
which makes things even more difficult for you, if that makes
To
sense.
get, yes, that
To
makes
get back
sense.
to the left side. And so
Yeah.
just take a look at that. I want to compare that just real quick with driver. The driver, you get even wider yet.
Yeah, that's pretty wide. That's really wide, actually.
100%. And that would augment the issue with driver that much more. Secondly, when you're creating your secondary tilt here,
Yeah.
all you're doing is you're going like this. You step back.
Uh-huh.
You're just going like this and tilting this back.
Yeah. That's wrong.
That would be incorrect. What we want to do is, here's the sternum.
Yeah.
Shift this down a little bit. It is bump the hip towards the target. My sternum does not move back.
Oh, okay. So just bump the hip, keep the sternum where it is.
Yeah, so here's the sternum. Because what this is going to do, it's going to preset that left hip in a more neutral position.
Okay.
That's what's going to allow the right hand to get the so we're going to polish up when we get to the driver in a second. But those would be the 2 spots that would be sticky when it comes to providing even more opportunity for issues with driver.
Okay.
Okay. So the next piece, of course, is weight distribution and spine tilt. So the spine here is certainly neutral, but it's nowhere close to as hinged as we need you to be, which is something that we're going to talk about. So part of the reason why somebody would say to you that your club gets really far to the inside. And just so I am recording this, that way you do have access to this for you to go through as often as you like.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. Let me go ahead and get rid of this real quick. So when it comes to your actual hinge, so you are maybe at 20 degrees of flexion, maybe 25. We want to see that closer to about 40.
Oh.
Okay? Because if I were to draw a line back, you are maybe 2 inches beyond the heel. We want to see closer to 5 or 6.
Okay.
What happens as a result of this, especially as the clubs get longer, if I were to plumb a line from your shoulder, this is where the hand should be. So in other words, you're reaching for it a little bit.
Yeah, that
So-
makes sense.
So think about it like this. The club wants to work perpendicular to your spine angle. If your spine angle is completely vertical, again, this is hyperbolic language. If it's completely vertical, the club's going to go nothing but inside.
Right.
Okay? If I'm a deeper hinge, it's going to be far more difficult for that club to get behind me.
So you're saying I need to be at 40 degrees and I'm at 25?
Yep.
Okay, so I got to hinge more.
Big time. It's going to give a lot more room for the arms to hang. Because for example, you're upright and reaching for it, what's also difficult to make, I'm exaggerating a little bit so you can see this, it's more difficult to maintain that depression of the shoulders as well.
Yeah, you're right. It's hard for me to keep my shoulders in my sockets when I'm like this. I'm reaching for it.
100%. And that's where things get even more compromised with driver. Just to go ahead and show that your experience having a driver being more of an issue is validated based on the fact of what we see. So hold on, let me share this again real quick. Because there's always going to be a reason why if you hit your short irons relatively well, your driver less so. You know, where are the common threads? So here's the driver. So what we see is still much too upright. And the only thing that's changed is look at the relative distance between you and your hands.
Yes.
So the more it's further.
I'm really reaching for it with the driver here.
100%. And so for as long as you're reaching for it, that club is going to get even more inside, which is going to completely augment the issue.
Okay.
And so what we're going to be doing today is 2.5 things. The half is going to be talking about stance width and what's called neutral ankle alignment, which we're going to go through together right now. The second piece, which is going to be a very substantial feeling change, is going to be getting to a deeper primary tilt. That's a non-negotiable, especially from what we're doing here, because let me go ahead and annotate this real quick. You know, here's the shoulder. You know, that's where the hands are.
Right.
You know, I mean, it's better with a shorter iron, which explains
it's way too far out there with the driver.
Big time. Again, you know, we don't see anybody out there on tour reaching for it.
Yeah, you don't. They don't do that.
but the thing is, all we're saying is we're giving ourselves a lot of marginal gains. You know, for as long as that club gets stuck inside of you, there's no pressure shift, there's no elevation, etc. So as I said,
that's been my problem my whole golfing career is the inside club stuck.
For sure, and this would be the primary reason why that would be an issue, because as long as you're upright, the club's going to want to go inside and get stuck behind you. That would be the primary reason. The second piece that we're going to talk about, so the half is the stance width and the neutral ankle. We're going to define that in a second. The second is beginning to a deeper primary tilt. The third is elevation, which we're going to talk about right after we first fix the posture piece first.
Okay.
Building this from the ground up. Let me go and kick off my shoes real quick so you can see this. Okay. So let me go ahead and put this on the ground so you can see what I'm talking about here.
Okay.
So there's also a little bit of a sway that happens over the course of your golf swing. And part of the reason is you're too wide, so therefore you have to, and then you get stuck. But the other thing is a lot of your weight's kind of towards the outside part of your foot.
Okay.
So we want to make sure that the ankles themselves are much more neutral. And so I'm not saying I want you to buckle your knees in. I just want you to roll your ankles in a little bit.
Roll them in a little bit. Okay.
A little bit, just to get this more neutral. Because right now where you are is like that.
Yeah. So you want to have more of a flat, in my mind, a flat-footed stance.
Yeah. Which again, if you are right under the pelvis, that's where it would be. But because you're getting just outside of the hip, you want to just roll them in a little bit. It's going to help engage the upper inner thighs a touch more.
Okay.
That would be one. That would be the half piece, which is the stance width along the neutral ankle. The one thing we're going to change right now before we even talk about elevation is getting into a much deeper primary tilt.
Okay, that looks pretty deep.
This is what we are looking for out of you. We're going to find all of a sudden a lot more room for the arms to hang, and it's going to be a lot more difficult for that club to get stuck inside. Even before we talk about the last piece, what we want to talk about today, which is elevation.
Okay.
Okay. So what we're going to have you do right now is I want you to go ahead and work on the primary tilt piece a little bit more.
Okay.
So in front of the camera without a club.
Without a club. Okay.
Without a club, we're going to narrow up the stance with a little bit.
Okay.
The ankles in, hair,
All right.
and we're going to work on the tilt.
Okay.
And again, the tilt is not always real.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, the shape.
Yeah, you can stay in the shape.
So this way?
Yeah, perfect.
So you went the tilt first?
Yeah, so I want you, if you could just aim a little bit more left, just to get a little bit more. There you go. Perfect. So do that again. So imagine like you are an archer pulling a bow. While you pull the bow back, take a look at this visual. While you pull the bow back, the top part of the bow goes forward. What you're not doing is you're hinging the thighs back.
Yeah.
You're not letting this come forward as this goes back.
Okay, okay.
There you go.
That?
Better. Much better. Awesome.
And then knee flex?
Yep. So I want to see even more than that. So hinge the
More than
thighs.
this?
Yes, please. There you go. Stunning.
That's pretty deep, Eric.
So let the arms hang here for a second. Awesome. So come on over, take a look.
I feel like that's like I'm bent over. Like I couldn't even hit the ball.
You're going to be surprised.
Okay.
Take a quick look.
Okay.
Okay. So here we have.
Oh, the shoulders look a lot more neutral there.
Big time. And see where the arms are hanging?
Yeah, they're hanging straight down.
Yeah. The spine is neutral.
Uh-huh.
And we are much deeper into our primary tilt. So now you're feeling a lot more weight over the ankles.
Yeah, I do.
Yep. Whereby, let me grab a quick screenshot of this so you can.
That's a big difference.
Big time.
Yeah.
Let me get rid of this real quick. Where did that go? Screenshot this. Just doing a little. We're going to compare this, of course, to this guy.
Wow. That's a big difference.
Yeah, big time. Let me go ahead and get rid of these annotation things real quick.
Yeah, I was way upright in the other one.
Big time. Big time. And we're going to see the same exact thing with driver. So let me go ahead and just clear this real quick.
I like that. I like that. Yeah, these visuals.
Listen, it's important to see.
Yeah.
I mean, this is much
Yeah,
deeper.
because I can't tell what I'm doing wrong. You know what I mean?
100%. I mean, here you can see how much deeper you are over the ankle.
Yeah.
You know, here we actually have room for the arms to hang.
Right.
So what we're going to have you do is we're going to have you hit a couple pitching wedges just doing this.
Okay.
I don't care if you shank it. I don't care where the golf ball goes.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. Hold on. Let me give the phone back to my cousin.
Okay. Makes sense, though?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Okay. So you can take just a couple of steps to the left, if you could. Thank you so much.
Mhm.
So right now it feels like you are substantially bent over, correct?
Yes.
Awesome.
Substantially.
Good.
Hit a couple.
Wow.
I felt like I got to my left side.
Say it again.
Yeah, I felt like I got to my left side a lot easier there.
Big time. Because what you're doing also by you hinging deeper, you're allowing yourself to get less stuck behind you. You're doing a better job engaging your hamstrings and your glutes. And the club's getting less inside. Therefore, it's much easier for you to swing to your left side. So come over, just take a quick look at that last one. Because what we're going to show you is you can actually probably get a little bit deeper than where you were there.
Oh, really? I can get deeper than that? Oh, yeah. I think I can get deeper than that.
Right? But this is so much better than where you were 30 seconds ago, which is just taking a quick look at this. Where's the annotations? There it is. So again, this is quite a bit deeper, but more importantly, you see how much further back you are. See how the back of the knee is directly over the ankle. So now
I see
you're
that.
balanced right here.
It does look like I'm more balanced there.
Big time. You know, it's the same thing as if you're doing a squat. You're not going to do a squat by bending over forward this way. You're doing it by hinging the thighs back.
Right.
And the same thing here. And even here, this is a lot closer to the arms hanging.
Okay. Is there such a thing as too much hinge?
The reason why I asked about bunkers is because in a bunker, we want to get into an even deeper hinge than this. Because
Okay.
if I get into a deeper hinge, it's going to force me to make contact with the sand first.
Okay.
Okay? So if anything, we want to feel an exaggeration of this hip hinge in bunker.
Okay.
That's why the question, how good is bunker play, was very telling to what I'm going to have to talk about with you before taking a look at a swing. Because the most common issue is blading the ball out of the bunker if you're not deep enough in your hinge.
That does happen to me, Eric.
Oh.
That does happen.
And so as I'm saying, you are in easy study so far. So
Okay.
let's have you hit a couple more pitching wedges.
Okay.
And if you could just stand a little bit more to the left, that we are more down the foot line. Just a touch more. There you go. Perfect. Awesome. And now just a little bit hinge deeper yet. So stand up straight for me. Good. Hands on the thighs. Hinge the thighs back while the upper body hinges forward. More. There you go. Now add some flex to the knees.
That's a lot. That's a lot of hinge.
Yep. Now just give me a practice swing to the top for a second. Awesome. Good. We're going to have you hit a couple from here, just 3 more.
I like that one.
Me too.
I'm like straight down the middle.
Good. All that says is that we're on the right vein.
Who would have thought I'd have to hinge that much?
I would say definitely me based upon what we saw. Awesome. Solid?
Solid.
Okay.
Solid.
Okay, and then one more. And as I said, we're going to talk about one more piece, which is actually going to be a more substantial change because it's going to be an actual in-swing difference. I like, with any student, what we like to do is like to take a look at one thing in setup and one thing dynamically. Awesome.
I think it's so much better.
No, for sure. And that's the thing is, as I said, I like to make 1, maybe 2 variable changes at a time.
Yeah.
You take, a week, 2, whatever it is to work on it. We say, Eric, is now ingrained. We put together a follow-up. We put the next piece on top of that, which is typically the way that I like to work anyhow.
Okay, cool.
But let's take a look at where you are now. So
it's amazing. It's amazing how I don't want to say that's an insignificant change, but it's something so similar that could actually make that much of a difference.
So I'll show you something. So here is just a quick image I have handy, which of course is Bernhardt, longer.
Oh yeah.
This
I think I saw this on your website.
For sure. I mean, this was where he was 6-7 years ago.
He was upright.
Yeah, upright. A lot of curvature of his spine.
Like me. Yeah.
You didn't have any curvature of the spine. You were just too upright.
Too upright, yeah. Oh, look at my hinge now.
Yeah.
That looks pretty good, doesn't it?
That's all I'm going to say.
Looks way better.
Doesn't look bad.
What do you think about the stance width? Is it okay? I try to narrow it up a little bit.
I like to go down the path of least resistance.
Okay.
I look at somebody and say, what are my windows of opportunity when it comes to what would create a more substantial change?
Okay.
Yes, is the stance width still a touch wide? Would that be the fly in the ointment? Not right now.
Okay.
Will you work on narrowing it up a little bit? But I'd rather you focus more energy on something that would create a more substantial change.
Okay.
So what we see here is exactly that, which is, I know it feels like you're bent over like crazy.
It does.
Yeah, but not even close to what crazy is.
Okay.
The arms have been allowed to hang.
Yeah.
Certainly quite a bit deeper.
Yeah. Am I close to that 40 degrees now?
Much more, yeah.
Okay.
Which I'm happy with. It also helps the shoulder stay back, because if you're too upright, you're going to be reaching for it.
Yeah.
So this certainly would be, step, half is the stance width and the ankles rolling in.
Yeah.
The bigger piece is the getting to deeper primary tilt. The third thing that we're going to talk about today is elevation.
Okay.
Understanding how we actually get to the top, because what we see here is something that I'm sure you've been familiar with your entire life, which is a club that's getting more caught behind you.
Yes, that's my problem. It gets caught behind me like that.
Caught behind you, club lifts and then gets across the line.
Right, correct.
Right? So what I want you to take a look at here is see how that left arm is below that lead shoulder, or the trail shoulder.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so what we're going to talk about is how we're going to change that very quickly, which I'm freaking excited about.
Okay.
So what elevation is, just to recap the idea. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed watching that private Zoom lesson, as a critical part of the learning process is actually found in watching other students going through the exact same breakthroughs in their game that you're looking to accomplish. And if you want to schedule a one-on-one private Zoom coaching session with me, go and click the link or the button in the description below, and you'll be taken to my personal calendar where you'll be able to easily schedule a one-on-one coaching session with me, where we will literally spend an hour polishing every element of your golf swing. And again, I really do appreciate your interest in who I am and what I do, and cannot wait to be the guy that all your golfing buddies absolutely hate this season. So if you want to schedule your one-on-one coaching session with me, go and click the button below.